Hello everyone and welcome to the ultimate trilingual channel for 20-somethings. My aim is to help you have the best fresh start in the new decade. So this is an employability series. Every Tuesday in English, I go through employability. If you're interested in love stories, that's Friday in Italian, or about my life, that's Sunday in French. But today it's all about employability. Employability is so crucial right now. I know a lot of people who are going absolutely crazy, mainly it's people I knew from uni who were in the years below. And you guys need to know it's not that difficult. It's a combination of mindset and know where to put your efforts in. And this is hopefully where this employability series is going to help you the most, because I feel that a lot of you are actually quite desperate to get a job and end up doing stupid things and just also sound desperate and all that jazz. So I really want to help you guys. If you want to know why you should listen to me, check out in the descriptions where my CV has brought me. I can give you a list here as well. The point is, I got into the companies I wanted. I got the career I want because of my CV skills, my cover letter skills, and obviously my interview skills that we will go through in future videos. But today is about CV. Let's start with the basics. The CV, I see a lot of people who have like amazing CVs, little charts and even maps of the world of where they've been. That's really cool, but that I've never done it personally, and I managed to get what I wanted to do. And my last one that I sent was 4 months ago. My CV was nothing special. I'm gonna put it in the description down below, so if you want to check it out, you can see how I did it. I'm going to put my latest CV in the description so you can download it and see what I mean by the fact that it was literally nothing special, just very boring text, but at least well structured. Obviously that doesn't mean that you shouldn't put all those like blingy bling things, but it makes no sense to put the blingy bling things if the content is not punchy. And this is what I'm going to teach you today, so keep listening. So let's start with the structure. The structure is actually quite straightforward. Some people like to start with a paragraph about them and their goals and what they want to do. I never did it, but if you're going to do it, you need to be maximum 3 lines and nothing else. So how I started it, I started with education. It's something I always start with. Look in my CV that you can download. Then after the education sector, I put a block of all the things that are really like cool, that really make me me. So what does make me me? Languages, obviously. As you can see, we're on a trilingual YouTube. I speak in 3 languages fluently, but I also am learning German. I'm nearly fluent in Spanish, and I learned Mandarin Chinese during my university. Therefore, languages is definitely something that makes me pop. But maybe you have like special awards, or you've done like some special thing, like whatever people always admired in you, whatever something that really made you like, wow, like this guy has this that I don't have, something that makes you unique, put it in. If you don't have anything and you're still in uni, do not worry. Try and amass as many awards as you can, or as many certificates you can do online that are in line with the industry you want to go in. For instance, if I was clueless, if I didn't have languages, if I didn't have awards, what would I do? I would go online and I would want to go into marketing. So I would do a lot of like legit online courses, or try and find the top 5 or 3 most legit online courses. And I would try to do it, because that would show that you are motivated to get your knowledge up. That you're basically saying by doing that, maybe I don't have languages, maybe I don't have awards, but I have the willpower to put myself and go the extra mile, put myself through courses and try and learn more than what is given to me at uni. And that says a lot. So always have that little special paragraph after the education. Then we get into the good stuff, and that is the experience. So your work experience. Now we all know how crazy it is. The people are trying to, they just want you to have like 500 years of experience when you're 18 years old. I know that's crazy. That's why if you're in uni right now, and usually the people I talk to are in uni, you need to kind of like already think forward and think, if these people want 500 years of experience, I need to try and get as much experience I can in my CV. That means doing summer internships. If you can do a year abroad in industry like I did, if you do business, obviously it depends on the industry. Like I'm obviously talking for people who are more of a economic / finance / business background. I don't know at all about CVs and what is really required in, I don't know, like medicine or law or psychology. I don't know anything about that, but that doesn't mean that some tips in this video will not help you guys who are doing also these kind of things. So keep on. So yeah, so you got your experience where you put your top 3 experiences, like try and aim for 3. If you don't have 3, but you have volunteering experience, put that in. So if you don't have 3 paid experiences, put the volunteering in. And if you don't even have volunteering, try and put anything that was being, for instance, on the committee of the business society, you know, anything that can show you in a professional kind of like boxy, put it in and aim for 3 really cool things. If you have more than that, pick the top 3, and I'm going to tell you how to do that later. After your experience, it's the last block, which is your interests, okay? So this is what do you do when no one's watching? What do you do when you're not at work? What do you do when you're not studying? It gives you an insight on how well-rounded you are, but also on how are you actually passionate about what you're applying for. So for instance, if I'm applying for a digital marketing course, I will just put in my interest, oh, I'm vice president of the marketing society. Obviously, for those who didn't have experiences, you kind of put that here. So I would focus more on your, I don't know, you have videography skills, or I was a choreographer for one of the biggest societies on campus, which was a dance society. If you have something like that, put it in. If you don't have anything, just try and think of 2 things that you do outside that are really like punchy. Obviously, it has to stay on 1 page. I don't get people who write like 500 pages. A CV is supposed to be something that the recruiter just scans through and just like picks up on the main keyword. They don't have time. And by the way, most of the CVs are scanned by robots. So 2 pages is just silly. 3 pages is outrageous. 1 page, it's 1 page per 10 years of experience. So don't go and get me like a whole essay, okay? At least the CVs that got me into somewhere were all on 1 page. Then obviously do you, if you think that will get you results, do that. Now let's go to the real stuff, okay? The things that actually will make a difference in your applications. So how do you make it punchy? All you need to do to make it punchy is try to find all those titles, all that data, try and put numbers in and titles in. Numbers and titles is what's gonna make your thing punchy. So I'm gonna give you an example, okay? So obviously it's gonna like sound like, whoa, I don't have that, or maybe you do, who knows? But like if you don't worry. When I got into ADIDAS, as a side project, I led a 30 people team. So I started a side project, I led 30 people, that's a number, led 30 people in order to increase the conversions of a page of the website that I had responsibility for. And as a result, I increased the conversion rate of that page by 127%. Boom. That is like punchy because you're really saying a whole story in a sentence, and there's 2 pieces of data. There's the fact that I did a side project, meaning I took initiative. I'm not just doing the work that they're telling me. It's meaning, oh, she has leadership skills because she led 30 people and she led them towards a result that is incredible. 127% more conversions is ridiculous. So obviously this is the kind of thing you're aiming for, but it can also be something like, in my first experience, I was at first a translator, but do I write that in my paragraph about that experience? No, I said within 1 month, I was promoted to social media manager and increased the Twitter account, the followers of the Twitter account from 18 to 3,000 followers in 4 months. Boom, numbers, titles, social media manager. So if you do not have any promotion to social media manager or whatever, if you don't have that title, try and think of other people's title, because if you bring in other people's title that are really good, then it makes you like elevate yourself. Let me explain. I'm gonna use a simple example of my second internship. During my internship, I presented to my line manager a presentation about SEO in order to help the company do better in it. And my manager liked it so much that he organized a multi-department presentation, I don't remember the exact wordings, where the CEO of the company was there to witness. And as a result, the CEO congratulated me about that SEO presentation. So you see, I'm bringing in someone like, oh, she attracted the attention of the CEO of a medium-sized company in Germany. That means that there's something about this girl that's interesting. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened to her. So you see, like, all these little things. Obviously, this is all like experience-based. If you don't have any experience, try to find anything in your uni that could help you. It's all about finding that opportunity. So for instance, at uni, I was asked by my marketing lecturer, the best legend on this earth. Alex, if you're watching this, thank you so much. Alex is, for those who do not know him, the best lecturer of Exeter University, and he teaches marketing to first students. Alex was my lecturer in first year, and then it's so crazy because like 3 years later or 4 years later that he taught me, he asked me to be a guest lecturer in his big 400 student class. And it was such an honor. And so obviously I would put that in as well, because you see, it's not experience related wise, but it's an opportunity where a senior lecturer of a top university, of a Russell Group university in the UK, has asked me to be a guest lecturer in marketing in his class. Boom, you know, that punches. So you see, what you need to do to make it punchy is to try and find like the percentages, the data, the titles, other people's titles, anyone that you can like elevate yourself to, and really, and that's how you make it punchy. Now, obviously, everyone is different, and I bet that some of you are looking at your CV and said, I don't have any of that, but you do. And the thing is, if you need me to look through it and help you find it, then please do not hesitate to drop me an email. I'll put my email below, I'll put my contact details in the description. Email me, okay? Email me your CV, text me here underneath, do whatever you need to get yourself sorted. Because if I'm doing this employability series, it's not to like be a freaking guru of employability. That's not my aim. My aim is to help you guys with your CV. So send me your CVs if any of these things are not clear, okay? Let's move on to the last thing. When you write a CV, it's like, you need to think of it like a trailer of who you are. And this kind of helps the people, some of you guys who have like 2 or 3 pages CV. If you're like, yeah, but I can't condense it to one, there's too much stuff, then you know that you're not following this rule. Okay, the aim of your CV is to be a 1-page punchy CV. It needs to be full of incredible stories, full of data, full of titles, and it needs to make the person want to call you. Why should I call you if you write me 3 pages of CV where you're telling me basically everything that I would have asked you on the phone? Why? What's the point? You need to like create that like, oh, I want to know more. How did she do that? Did you realize how in my ADIDAS example of the 106 and 27% increase in conversions, have you realized how I didn't say anything about how I did it? It's made on purpose. It's because I'm trying to create that like, that curiosity, like, please, I need to call this girl. What's her name? What's her number? Let's contact this bitch, you know? This is what you need to do. And so this is, the third point is literally like making it a trailer, making people want to look at it. Just like the trailers of movies, your CV is a trailer of what you're capable of, okay? And the fourth thing I want to say, and this is also important, after everything I told you, you need to understand that it doesn't matter if you're not in a big company. Obviously, punchy titles, it would really help to have a really cool company on your CV. If you have a big company like Procter Gamble, PayPal, Unilever, Google, Spotify, any of these big names that everyone knows, then, or that your industry knows, like I wouldn't know anything about law firms. I don't know any names of law firms. That doesn't mean it's not good. I mean, just make sure that any big name in your industry, make sure you have it on your CV. It's hard though to get to that level. So people desperate because like, oh, I only worked in this weird small agency that no one knows about. You know, yeah, but your agency exists for a reason. What is it an agency about? Is it an expert in Instagram advertising? Is it an expert in law, copyright, whatever? I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know, like it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what your experiences are. What matters is what do you make out of them, and that's what people don't get. People who read your CV don't give a crap about your long paragraph. They want to see that you're a go-getter, you have attitude, and that you go the extra mile. That if I employ you, you need to prove to me, I want to make sure that you go above and beyond, that you're so into your job, that you're not there to just arrive at 9, do the bare minimum and off. You're there to actually do the work, okay? And that's what I want to see on your CV. People nowadays are looking more for attitude than all the rest that you guys are just like in, you know? And it's hard for us. It's hard for a generation. You know why? Because we are kind of a transition between how our parents were growing up. So as our parents, the CV would be in a certain way, and if you had the good grades and the good this and the good that, you would go in. Nowadays, grades and all that, just welcome to the thousands of other people who have a degree. You're nothing, you're not worth it. So how you distinguish yourself is with your behavior, with your attitude, with your thinking about outside the box skills, with your creativity. You definitely have one of these things. You definitely have it. And if you haven't, it's just because you haven't found the right industry for you. But that's for another video. That's a topic for another video. So I will do that as well, okay? Let's stay on the topic of the CV, because otherwise this is going to be a long ass video and we don't want that, okay? Well, too late. All right. Another thing that's very important, and this is a fifth one, and it's also very important, so listen to this, okay? It's not only humans that look through your CV, okay? We're living in a world where more and more things are automated, meaning that there are algorithms going through your CV and actually checking the words electronically of your CV. So for instance, when you look at your job description, you need to make sure that the main keywords that are in this job descriptions and the keywords that are synonyms of that in your CV, make sure, because what happens, this happens with Procter Gamble. Have any one of you applied to Procter Gamble? If not, this is what happens. I send my CV at midnight. Within 15 minutes, I get a confirmation email. Congrats, you've passed through the next round, and you need to do these tests. That's what I get. Do you really think that there was someone at midnight in the UK checking my CV in 15 minutes and sending me that email? Of course not. It's automated, okay? So that's why you need to put in the keywords of your description. That's why your CV really needs to mirror what's written in the description, okay? This is important. And it's the same thing, I will repeat it in the cover letter, but this is important. If you want to have a hacker pro tip, this is something that a really close person of me told me. Apparently, some people who work in AI or machine learning or whatever, they put on their electronic CV all the keywords in white somewhere on the end of their page, meaning that if someone reads it, no one will see it because it's in white and it's a PDF. Therefore, you can't even modify it and you will never notice. But the AI, the machines, the algorithm that goes through it will catch on and will be like, well, this guy has all the keywords that I was looking for in the description. Bitch, let's put him through. And so that's a hack for any one of you guys who want to, spice things up, give yourself a bit more of a chance, if you know what I mean. All right, so, and this pro tip, obviously, I put it at the end because it's only for people who go through my videos and not people who just skip. Thank you very much. So yeah, so I hope this video was good. So this video was about CV, okay? I really hope this was a good one for you guys. Again, if you need help with your CV, if you really want help with your CV, if you're really desperate and if you're really committed to get yourself out of the crap, you need to text me your CV. Maybe I can help you, or maybe not. Maybe I'm a dumbass bitch that doesn't know anything about your industry, but maybe there are a few things I can tell you to make it a bit more punchy. That I can help you with, because I helped a lot of people with that. It's the one thing I'm good at. So yeah. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if this was useful. Let me know if you need a cover letter version. I think the next video will be the cover letter version because cover letters also have their own thing. But yeah, I hope this was useful, guys. I'm here to help you. I never had someone telling me this shit when I started. I went desperate. I went crazy. I had some horrible downs, but also some incredible ups. I learned the hard way and I always work smart, not hard. So if you're about that, If you're about that mindset, this is the right series for you, and that's all I have to tell you. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Mwah. Bye guys.